Hello. In this week's video discussion, we'll be talking about historical newspapers. Using the History Jerry Falwell Library database, I located the ProQuest Historical Newspapers database. From there, I found 3 articles that could be used for a presentation on Heinrich Himmler's failed attempt at peace negotiations between Nazi Germany and the Western Allies during the closing days of World War II in Europe. The articles also discuss his capture on May 21st, 1945, following Germany's unconditional surrender, and his suicide while in British custody on May 23, 1945. The 3 articles examined are the March 20th, 1945 story from the Sun newspaper by Louis P. Lochner entitled, "Himmler Held in Hitler Plot, Escaped Conspirator Says Gestapo Chief Sought Power." George Axelson's April 30th, 1945 story in the New York Times entitled, "Himmler Seeking Favor of Allies, Bernadette's Report Presents Him as Proposing That He Control Defeated Reich," and the May 25th, 1945 New York Times story by James MacDonald entitled, "Arch Criminal Dies, Head of SS, Keeper of Concentration Camps, Trapped Monday, Hid Vial in His Mouth, He Bites Into It When British Doctor Starts Examination, Fake Papers His Undoing, The Hunt for Himmler, Himmler Ends Life with Poison, British Trap Him Wearing Disguise, He Finally Decides to Die, Himmler Outsmarted Himself." Quite a mouthful for a title. Lochner's article accuses Himmler of an active role in the July 20th plot to assassinate Adolf Hitler. Lochner states that Himmler, quote, sent an attorney named Longbin to Switzerland to ask the Allies whether he, Himmler, would be acceptable in case Hitler ceased to exist. That was page 2 of the Lochner newspaper article. After the July 20th plot failed, however, Himmler claimed to, quote, play along with the coup attempt just to get evidence on the plotters. From the same page. George Axelson's article discusses attempts by Heinrich Himmler via the representative of the Swedish Red Cross, Count Folke Bernadette, to persuade the Western Allies to allow him to rule a post-Hitler Third Reich. According to Axelson's reporting, quote, the Gestapo chief was trying to sell himself to the Allies as the only sensible man in Germany who had any control of the Reich's affairs now. Himmler, in effect, offered his services to the Allies to aid in bringing order out of the chaos, more or less in the hope the Allies would guarantee him his life in return. That was page 3 of the Axelson newspaper article. Himmler's offer was rebuffed by General Dwight D. Eisenhower. Following Hitler's suicide, Himmler offered his services to the new leader of what was left of Nazi Germany, Grand Admiral Karl Dönitz, but he was dismissed from his rump government as well. Rejected by his former comrades and hunted by the Allies, Himmler attempted to go into hiding. MacDonald's article discusses the capture and suicide of Himmler, including the former Reichsfuhrer SS attempts to conceal his identity. MacDonald states that, quote, Himmler had disguised himself by shaving off his fair-haired mustache and wearing a black patch over his perfectly good right eye. He was traveling under the name of one Hisinger, end quote, and that's from page 8 of the MacDonald article. MacDonald suggests that Himmler's Gestapo-trained mind was his undoing. Quote, for if Himmler, arch-faker of identity cards, had not gone to the trouble of providing himself with false ones, he would probably be alive and still at liberty today. Hardly anyone in Germany has identity papers now, and one of them producing papers is an exception. End quote, and that was from the same page of the MacDonald article. If Himmler had not been so meticulous in his planning, he very well could have escaped capture and perhaps followed a rat line to safety in South America like many other high-ranking Nazis like Adolf Eichmann and Joseph Mengele. Thank you.